Hello everyone, I am Seeraj and I am here with my friends to go through a demonstration of our project of a TI IDC, assistive gadget for the visually impaired and physically challenged. We are doing this project under the guidance of our HOD and mentor Dr. B.G. Shivalilavati. We would also like to thank our principal who have been a great deal in this project for our support, Dr. Mrutyunjay V. Latte. So considering the present scenario, we can see that there is a lot of blind people and the physically challenged in the society. In this competitive world, it's becoming difficult for them to cope up with the various factors in studies and their commute, their travel and etc. So here we are making an effort to make a gadget which will be useful for both these people and would guide them in their commute. And this project consists of a cane which is similar to that of a blind man's stick with a simple module embedded over it. So this simple module will be consisting of a few ultrasonic sensors and also with an audio guidance so that the person can wear this and can approach in his directions. The components used in the project are as follows. My friend Manoj will carry on with the block diagram of the project.
I am Manoj. Now I am going to explain the structure of our project with the help of a block diagram. The microcontroller we are using is MSB430 FG4618. It is a 16-bit RISC architecture and it has 12-bit analog to digital converter. Then coming to the input port, we are using 3 ultrasonic sensors. The ultrasonic sensors generate high frequency sound waves and evaluate the echo which is received back by the sensors. The sensors usually will be able to detect an obstacle and will give an ADC value which is received by the microcontroller. Then coming to the heartbeat sensor and the analog front end, the heartbeat sensor is built by using 2 components, that is the photodiode and the LED pair. We will take down the readings of the pulse from the person's index finger. This is achieved by placing the infrared and red LED pair above the index finger and by placing the photodiode below the index finger. The output from the sensor is given to the AFE4400 IC, which will process the signals and will communicate with microcontroller through SPI and diagnosis end. Then coming to the response end, we have an audio record and a playback module. This module has an IC APR33A3 which makes the record and playback possible. The IC can record for 11 minutes and is divided into 8 channels. It has the capability of record and playback option. This module in the project is used for giving out the pre-recorded audio signals to the user regarding the direction of the obstacle as detected by the ultrasonic sensor. Then the audio output. The audio output signal is given with the help of the earphones connected to the audio kit, which is variable easily by the user. Then we are using transistor SL100. This is an NPN transistor which is used as a simple current amplifier for driving the motor. It amplifies the current by HFE times the input base current. Then we have a vibrator motor. This is a brushed DC motor which has the rotating shaft which produces certain amount of vibrations when supplied with an voltage around 3.3 volts. The PWM signal is produced whenever a nearest obstacle is detected by the ultrasonic sensor and the vibration is then switched on. The feature can be used to alert the individual prior to either the audio or to the buzzer. Now the hardware implementation will be explained by my friend Kishan.
I am Kishan. Now let us discuss about the hardware implementation of our project. Here we will be going through the hardware implementation with the help of a schematic. This schematic shows the different hardware components involved in our project. Coming to ultrasonic sensors, it is a transceiver which can function as both transmitter and receiver. The ultrasonic waves are transmitted through the transmitter. These waves hit the obstacles and get reflected back. These reflected waves are received by the receiver, which produces analog values corresponding to the distance of the obstacles from the sensors. These analog values are given to 3 different analog channels of the microcontroller, which converts them into equivalent digital values. In the software part, we will compare these 3 values and find the least one. That least value corresponds to the obstacle of direction of nearest obstacle. Coming to the audio kit, it has got 8 individual audio channels, each with recording capability of 1.3 minutes. So the total recording length is 11 minutes. Each individual channel can be activated by grounding that channel. After activating, we can record the audio into that channel by keeping the kit in record mode. Similarly, the recorded audio can be played back by keeping the kit in playback mode. Out of 8 channels, we are using 3 channels for informing the person about the obstacles in 3 different directions. For the functioning of the kit, we should provide a supply of 12 volt to it. Coming to the vibrator motor, it is used to alert the person about the obstacles. The vibrator motor needs a voltage of around 3 volts. This motor is driven by a PWM output produced by the microcontroller. The transistor is used for amplifying the input current by a factor of beta. Otherwise, the vibrator motor would draw a lot of current and cause the loading effect. The resistor is used for biasing purpose and the capacitor used for absorbing the leakage current. Now coming to the heartbeat front-end module AFE4400. It can measure the heartbeat of a human. The input to this front-end IC is given with the help of a LED pair and photodiode. The light emitted by the LED transmitter will pass through the index finger of the person and reaches the photodiode. The photodiode responds to this incident light and produces a current. It is then given to the front-end IC. The heartbeat module can be interfaced to the microcontroller through SPI technique. Since we are facing difficulties in interfacing, we are not able to achieve this in this time span. Now my friend Bharat will take you through the software algorithm which we have employed in our project.
I am Bharat. We will be discussing about the software algorithm. Here in detail we will be going through the initialization of various modules and controlling strategies. Here in the program, we are including the required header files. Next, the global variables ADCF, ADCL and ADCR are initialized to 0. The ports P1, P2 and P6 are also initialized. The port 1 is used to generate PWM, whose output is given to the vibration motor. The intensity of the vibration motor depends upon the duty cycle of the PWM. The port 2 is used for the audio gate and port 6 for the ADC channel. The controller ADC12 CTLX is initialized to switch on ADC and to provide 16 sample and hold cycles. ADC12 IE is an interrupt controller which is to be initialized. Then the program enters the infinite loop and the conversion starts. Once the conversion is completed, the program checks if any one of the interrupt flag is high. If yes, it enters the interrupt service routine. Here in the interrupt service routine, the interrupt flag register is initialized as X. This is a switch controller. It checks if any one of the cases is satisfied. If the case is satisfied, the value from the conversion memory 0, 1 and 2 is copied to the variables ADCF, ADCR and ADCL respectively, and the control is switched back to the main program. Here it is a once the control is switched back, here we will be using a if-else adder which will compare the smallest of the 3 ADC values. In each loop, the same operation of switching on the vibration motor and the activation of respective audio is achieved, and the program starts again. Next, my friend Siraj is going to give a demonstration of our project.
We are going to see the demonstration of our project presently. So here, as we can see, we have embedded all the components which we have discussed previously into this box. So this is placed on a rather thin stick, as you can see, whose diameter is almost equal to the general lineman stick, which will be. So as you can see, outside the things which are visible only are a battery and its power supply. Along with that, we are placing 3 ultrasonic sensors, so which are going to detect the obstacles on all the 3 directions. And behind this, we can see a small vibrator motor, which is going to pass vibration to the entire stick. And one more thing is that we also have a small hole here, as you can see. This is going to be the output for the audio. The person can place the earphones into this jack and he can listen the direction of the obstacle. So now let us switch on the kit and check the working of this module. So as we can see, the vibrator motor started to vibrate initially because I haven't given any delay for the ultrasonic sensors. In the sense, I have started the program in whichever is the least nearest obstacle it is going to take. So if the ultrasonic sensor is not sensing anything, even then what will happen? There will be a default value which is going to be present, which is the least, and it is going to be taking that value and going to vibrate. So in order, if we want to reduce this redundancy, we can keep a limit in which the values can be taken by the ultrasonic sensors, so that it will be working in a more better manner. So once we connect the earphones to this module, the person can hear the audio which is being coming. So we can just hear the audio very slightly because it's a earphone. So it is just telling that the obstacle is on the left side. So this is the left side. The stick is supposed to be holding like this. So this is the direction. So while the blind man is going in his approach, he is supposed to be holding the stick in the same way. He'll be normally holding it like a pencil. So it will be holding like this and it will move on in its approach. So the direction of the obstacle for the nearest obstacle will be given in the same sense. Okay. So what is the using the vibration in a place is that if the approach is going in on a rushy road or anything, so this will help in the approach. And the earphones presently can be kept like this and it can be used. The volume can also be reduced depending on the usability of the user. In regard to our previous discussion and the video demonstration of our project, we've seen that we were able to achieve the obstacle detection and the audio guidance accurately. But we would also like to achieve the heart rate monitoring and also the connection of the heart rate monitoring to a GSM module so that there will be a possible communication to his nearest neighbors. And as a future enhancement, we would also like to embed the same module with a GPS antenna so that the person can be guided to his destination more accurately rather than only with the obstacle detection.